Do you believe in the Illuminati?
This idea that it's far left for us to have some form of universal health care.
I ordered a can of Coke off the dark web. Let's open it.
That's how I knew Italy was different. I had McDonald's 4 times in Italy. It was phenomenal.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into it.
Easter Island has its own flood myth. They say that there was a huge land in the Pacific, far, far away, called Hiva, and that it was destroyed in a flood cataclysm, and that there were survivors, specifically 7 wise men. That's another thing that is found all around the world. It's found in ancient Sumer, it's found in ancient Egypt, it's found almost everywhere. 7 wise men who came and settled Easter Island after this great cataclysm.
Do we know where from?
Well, 3,000 years ago, you're still within the period of the Polynesian expansion. But the question that arises is, did they find the Moai already in place?
See, it's the wise men. Who do you think these wise men are? The elites, y'all. The ones that build the bunkers. The ones that got the knowledge that it's coming, that don't share it with us. Those are the wise men. And they give, when the new people come, they give a little bit of technology, right? We always say they're 30 years ahead with technology, and they give us a little bit, right? They give them a little fire. Cook your meat, irrigation, filter water, boil it, right? They give them a little bit of knowledge.
Believe in the Illuminati?
Turn that shit right on you, bro.
I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
I do, 100%.
I know you do.
I've never been invited.
Yeah. That's not something I'm going to talk about today.
That says a lot.
Pay your staff like a better wage.
What I find weird is that I just get a bottle of water from someone and they're trying to get a tip for doing nothing.
We went out the other night and had a few drinks, and they were expecting a tip after every drink. So it's like, it can get expensive very quick.
In Japan, there's no tipping. I think the price without the tipping is already expensive. So with the tipping, I think it's way too much.
You see a price and then you got the tax, then you got the tip. So everything is more than you think.
It should be on the business, not the customer, to be kind of making sure your staff are well paid.
So we pool all the tips in the restaurant. So we share the tips amongst everybody on the team that goes into making the experience great. This is a wide-ranging discussion, what servers make. In California, we have a very high minimum wage.
In some states, it's $2.13 an hour is their base wage. So if they don't receive any tips, it's impossible to survive until we have more consumer education, government policy that supports us being able to create new wage models within our industry. It just feels like swimming upstream a little bit.
Living off tips is just difficult, y'all. I used to do Spark, DoorDash, and it sucks having to rely on people to leave a tip. It's not a fun way. I don't know how serving is, but to me, living off tips is just not fun. Not fun at all.
Reminder, more Europeans die every year from heat-related illness than Americans do from gun violence. That's a real fact. You can look it up. So don't let any of these Europeans tell you that they can't install AC in their buildings, right? They've installed plumbing before, they've installed electricity, they can install air conditioning, but their ignorance doesn't let them. And so they have more people that die from heat than gun violence. Make it make sense.
You cannot underestimate a system that has been embedded in our entire existence since you were a baby. Did you not remember sitting and your parents staring at a screen and staring at the news every night? Did you not remember people reading newspapers nonstop with headlines? Go read a paper. They tell you how to think. This one wants this dead. These terrorists are this and these evil. They want to paint the bad picture. They want to be, it's not me, I'm right, they're wrong. In a more deep, demonic, pure, evil, disgusting, malice, soulless way. That's exactly what politicians and our media does.
That's crazy. That should tell us everything we need to know. I mean, that should tell us who runs this, what we're doing with this, who runs the money, who runs the world. That should tell you.
Watch this. I deafen, I blind, and I mute every evil monitoring familiar spirit, and I sever every silver cord of every witch and every warlock in Jesus' name.
Why does European Parliament have a sculpture of what appears to be a reptilian creature holding a human household in a box? I'm just asking questions, but give me your thoughts on this exhibit.
Wait, what did you say? Repeat that.
Look, I keep telling y'all, yellow teeth plus pain equals a cavity. You need hydroxyapatite toothpaste to remineralize them. Try KU Gig. Go buy it yourself, not sponsored.
Tell everybody.
Did you hear about the 3 creatures that were caught for about 10 seconds on camera in Jerusalem, stating that they stirred the air and they were like 25 feet tall was the estimation, and these 3 creatures supposedly started a fire over there, and it was visible. You can look all this up. It is absolutely recorded. So I believe it was on the 19th, so you can go back and check it and go do your research on it. But I think it's so interesting because Revelation talks about 4 angels that are bound. And what's wild is when that river dries up over there, I believe it's the Euphrates, when it dries up, they will be released. We only seen 3 supposedly, and there's a fire out of nothing. But where's that 4th one? Is there a 4th one? Is that what it was? Are we going to blame aliens again? Or are we going to dive deep into what God's saying and speaking? And are those the angels that are about to bring all the judgment that the Bible talks about? Interesting. Very interesting. Anyways, go have some fun with that. Go do some research. But nobody can explain what it was. But it is caught on camera. Go look up the videos.
There are almost no cemeteries in Greece because the country's only like 2% arable. And so the land that's good, they need to grow food on it. So there's this practice, it's been a practice for hundreds of years, that you rent a grave for 5 years. So they don't embalm in Greece. They'll put you in the ground for 5 years, and then on the 5th anniversary of your burial, they dig you, the women of the village dig you up with the priest, the village priest, and then they take your, by then you're just a skeleton. If you're not just a skeleton by then, that means you went to hell.
Oh.
And so they put you right back.
I thought you were going to say it means you were buried alive. I was like, oh shit.
No, it means you went to hell. So, but just about everybody is just bone by then. So they take the skeleton apart, they wash it with red wine, the priest blesses it, and they put it in a little bone box. And then in an ossuary.
I don't know about
Show his father. Never seen him.
Never heard about his father.
You never will.
He talking, acting like a. That's crazy. That's deep. We keep going. That's crazy.
We all know our father.
I'm interviewing, but you don't mess my head up with that.
Have you ever heard about his father?
Nah, I just know about his mama. And he from Virginia. Like, that's.
Yeah.
He was a kid. I remember he was a kid. That's deep. All right.
You never heard about his pops?
Nah, I haven't.
Ain't suspicious to you?
Only reason why
watch it again. Oh, just look at it a few more times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you not no person that's skeptical or like naive.
Nah, not at all.
You're not easily tricked.
Nah, not at all.
What do you see right there?
Let me see. I think it's on Jordan.
Oh, I got
you.
That's
crazy.
You know, watch that close.
That's crazy.
Can me and you beat up Rihanna and not go to the pier?
Nah, not.
He did.
Bro.
Think about that.
This idea.
I mean, I was disagreeing with them, but then I was thinking, like, I was watching an interview the other day of, his name's Daz Dillinger, right? He's a rapper from the 90s, right? From California. And he was doing an interview. And it was like, Oh, my mom was a musician, and she used to coach Janet Jackson. So I would be hanging out at the Jackson's house. Like, what are the chances that all these musicians have some sort of tie with the industry from a young age? Right? It's like they're all connected, y'all. They're all on TV for a reason. They're all connected. Like, what are the damn chances? That's like me coming out and saying, "Yeah, I used to hang out with so and so," and what are the chances that this guy that was famous and in the room with Tupac and Snoop Dogg's cousin, and they were hanging out with the Jacksons when he was little. And he so-called came from poverty and gangs and, all this, drugs, selling drugs. I can tell when he's talking, he's BSing 99% of everything. He's lying. He's a liar. But still, like, people believe it. And, like, what are the chances you were hanging out with the Jacksons and then you became this famous rapper that talked about killing and all this destruction? No coincidence there to me.
It's far left for us to have some form of universal health care. That's not far left. We're having the World Cup right now. Every single country in the World Cup has universal health care except us. Like, that's not a far left position. That's a pretty general world position. It's not far left to be able to say, I want to work a job and be able to afford a place to live and food. It's not far left, right, to say that you want to stay home with your baby when they're born and take care of them and have paid family leave and affordable school when they are grown up. That's not far left. That is pretty standard for the rest of the world.
Serious?
And they make you believe that you're a leftist if you want these things. They make you believe that. They make us so divided so we don't come together when other countries have all these things. But yet I saw Joe Biden's speech that he did at something, and he's just talking about we got to beat them. We can't stand up for this crap. We got to fight back. And like, no, and people are clapping and still falling for this nonsense, y'all. Still falling for this stupid nonsense.
Concerns
It's
for
frustrating.
Edward Norton, as it appears that he's talking to himself. You can see him right now keying and just talking, laughing, having a great time. The problem is not that he's having a great time. The problem is that he's out there and it looks like he's kind of talking to himself. And for that, I'm really concerned about as an Edward Norton fan myself. That sucks, man. Prayers to him and his family. Hopefully they're getting the care that they need.
Why is there a tech-in Washington, D.C.? And why has D.C. law mandated that there's no object that can be taller than that structure? So I ask questions, and every question seeks an answer, right? And as I was pursuing answers to the questions that I was asking, that led to the creation of what was originally known as the Afrocentric Tour of Washington, D.C., which I created in 1986. And what it consists of is my curiosity leading me to answer the question, why is the Washington Monument the tallest object in Washington, D.C.? And by researching the history of the layout, design, and development of the city, I created the Egypt on the Potomac field trip.
That's how I knew Italy was different. I had McDonald's 4 times in Italy. It was phenomenal.
Bro, you go to front.
I'm just being honest with you. Listen to me.
No,
I
looked
went
at
to
it
the one in
every
Rome.
time and I
Bro, I
wanted
went to
it.
the one in Rome. I went to the one. I'm pretty sure there's one in Florence and Milan is where we went to. We went to 3 McDonald's. And it tasted like, bro, it was the best
Yeah, they got
tiramisu
the-
I ever had. It was one of the best
They got the
espressos
fried
I ever had.
calzones there. Yeah, it's.
And I was like, oh, I can't wait to go back to McDonald's.
You know, this.
I'm in
I'm
Italy,
going to
bro.
tell you why. This is God's honest truth. You can Google it. The meat, the hamburger meat in McDonald's in Italy has to be made in Italy.
Yeah. There's
That's
a law
why.
about it.
There's a law.
So that's what I'm saying. The food that's how I knew Italy was legit. Because I went to McDonald's and had a legitimate meal. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And I was like,
just-
holy shit.
It's just everything there from Bro, the and they wine. have pasta the on the chefs menu. there.
Do they have pasta on the McDonald's menu?
I didn't go to McDonald's.
Well, they have a
I wanna
McCafe.
go- now I wanna go to
You know how
McDonald's.
you're at
Have fried
McDonald's?
calzone.
But you know how you're at McDonald's here and you hear McCafe?
Yeah.
They have an actual McCafe inside the McDonald's where they're selling tiramisu and espresso and you don't even, that's not even half of what's on that.
I saw a clip. I was going to put it on the video, but it was like 10 minutes. But it was Godfrey, the comedian, who was saying, he went to Jamaica and they took him to KFC. And he's like, KFC? I came to Jamaica. I don't want to go to KFC. And they're like, no, you need to try this. And they were saying, long story short, how it was the best KFC I've ever had. And they were saying these ingredients by law They're not allowed to put there's only like 3 ingredients. No food coloring, no when they cook it in good oil. And he was like, it was the best KFC I ever had. Like, why are they allowing that here? KFC is from Kentucky. It's from America. You would think they would give like the people where it's from the best of the best and maybe give them, we'll give you the bottom of the barrel, right? We'll give you the bottom of the barrel KFC, but our hometown, it's going to be the best. But it's not like that, y'all. And it's not like that for a reason. It's not like that for a reason. Everywhere else in the world, free universal health care, right? Here, it's not because of these foods, because of the things that they do to us. And guess what? We're trying to ban these, red dye foods and change the pyramid. But what is the left saying? You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't ban this food. You can't ban these books from libraries and schools. You can't do that. And the people on the left are against that, even though it's right. And the people on the right, whatever the left is, you know what I mean? Like it's just a constant game of cat and mouse, and they just keep getting away with it while the world laughs at us. While the world laughs at us, y'all.
Why this one is here. Like you can see them all back there. But this guy somehow, he didn't make it. Make it to the chosen spot. I mean, the size of this thing is massive. It's not a tiny little rock.
That is actually a good question. Why is that one there and all the other ones are over there? I mean, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of space to put all of them up. What's the difference between these ones up here and the one that was by itself over there? It's something to think about. Shut up! What's the difference? Because they look the same. Something's going on here, guys. And of course, I don't know what it is. That's why I'm asking you. Yep, something for sure is going on over here with these rock faces. People are saying that these used to be people at one point, or rock people. That I don't believe. That's what people are saying, and I don't believe none of that because I ain't never seen a rock person a day in my life. Not just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. I'm not sure why they would do that.
I'm
not
the movies,
concerned
though.
about that, but people are asking that. That's why I'm asking that. I don't know. Something's up with this. Something's up. Let me know if you know what's up. I'm out.
It's $486.
I spent about $200.
I spent $162. I got t-shirts. I've got a mug. I got this cool little bucket to carry all my stuff.
Spent $272 today. We got beaver nuggets, we got barbecue, we got snacks, we got everything. We bought a little bit of everything, and this was almost $500 worth. So we came with a few things, $486. A lot of food, a lot of chips, bags, of course, shirts for the kids. What else did we buy? A lot of food. Brisket's amazing. So then, you got to get one of each flavor of these. So that turned into 3 different things.
I spent about $200, about earrings, shirt, some cockroach clips, some smokes, a koozie thing.
I think I spent $130. We bought 2 blankets. The kids have been wanting these forever. And there's 2 blankets. We bought a stuffy, this insulated bag.
$267.
What are some things that you got? I got some t-shirts, a stuffy, a ducky.
$150. What we got as a family was something for the kids. They got to pick out a toy. We got something for me, we got something for my husband, and we all got food. So $150 went a very long way. We even got a fryer.
Are we sure the economy is bad, as they say it is? Or do we just have a spending problem? A debt problem? I think it's more that than things being y'all, Buc-ee's, I've driven past it. I haven't gone yet. If I go, this is what I want. I want a mug, I want a shirt, and some jerky. That's it. I ain't gonna go crazy. Buc-ee's is packed, y'all. Chili's, Texas Roadhouse, Olive Garden. Packed. Every day. And yet they say the economy is bad and people are broke, and McDonald's drive-thru, packed. Burger King, anything, you name it, packed. on a Tuesday. Do we have an economy problem? Or is it a spending problem? What do you think?
Maybe this one.
And we're all heading this way, y'all, no matter what.
Weird stuff. There's another one. Another one of what?
You know where you are?
Oh, I made him wait so long.
Who'd you make wait so long?
Why are you trying the same thing?
What happened? Sound like you want to get something out that you need to say.
Over here.
Let me see.
There's another one. Another one what? She keeps pointing up at the ceiling.
What are you seeing, huh?
What's up there? I just took too many and savvy.
So the conspiracy theory states that the United States, China, and other countries have weapons well beyond the capabilities of nuclear weapons. They have weather and tectonic weapons. I don't know if they actually do. Again, it's conspiracy theory. In this capacity, there are people who believe that it may be China, or they're the principal, antagonist in this regard, because we cut off half of their energy for 4 months. The theory states that China utilized some kind of directed energy weapon, perhaps from space, to trigger a tectonic release in Venezuela twice, causing a doublet. Kind of silly, if you ask me, really.
The person in this room lived. The person in this room did not. These are two rooms in the same house after a fire. What do you think the difference was? One of them left the door cracked before they went to bed at night. One of them closed the door. This right here will unalive your children. There are a ton of parents that I know that have no idea, but they leave their children's doors cracked at night. And that's a great way to make sure your children die in a fire. My name's Joe. I was a firefighter in Northern Virginia. And what you don't know is cracking your door is the difference between this and this. Here's another example. Door closed during a fire, door cracked during a fire. This one is basically untouched. This one's completely burned up. And if you're one of those people that's thinking to themselves, oh, I would just wake up and get out of the house, you probably don't understand how fast fire conditions develop. By the time you've woken up and thought to yourself, wow, there's smoke in my room, I should get out of here, the air is already superheated to the point where just you standing up, your hair would light on fire. So no, you would not just be waking up and getting out. If you were this guy, you would be. Not so much if you're this guy. Now the odds of...
Sorry, I thought the clip was over, but I sleep with the door open, right? I like the air to circulate, keep the room cool. But that's something that's interesting to, when I was young, I always had my door shut. I didn't like my door open. I didn't like it cracked. I liked it shut. But, as I got older, I like to hear things out there.
Your house catching fire are relatively low. But if you do want to be protected, if your house were to ever catch on fire, close your kid's door at night.
So I'm over here watching The Matrix again, and guess what this nigga said?
Pieces of information. What we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
No.
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. We struck first.
No, I don't like where this is going now.
Having breakfast with my friend today, and he said, what if all of the above ground data centers are there to power all of the underground cities and bunkers? There's a thought. Just racking my brain trying to figure out, why now? Because they've supposedly been building all of these underground cities and bunkers for quite some time, and maybe it's gotten so large underground that there's not enough resources to power everything they have going on. So they build 1 or 2 data centers every 500,000 miles to supply everything underground. It's a crazy analogy, crazy thought, but I mean, everything else that we've found out over the past 15, 20, 50 years has been a crazy thought that, you know, then became our reality. So just a thought. He was kind of smart about it. He's kind of on point. It just makes you think. I could be completely wrong. I could be nuts agreeing with him, but I don't obviously agree yet. I have to do some research, but it's a thought. I wouldn't shush it off necessarily.
I could see it, y'all. I could see it. Using all our tax dollars, right? It's ruining the above ground, and they don't care, y'all. They don't care that water supply to the people, wasting water, the vibrations are just offing animals at crazy rates, the noise, you know, all these things above ground, they don't care. Go try to dig in your front yard and ask the city if you can dig a water well out there and see what they say. Try to go underground and see what they say. Go to the park and start digging, right? Go to the park and start digging and see if someone passes by, if they don't stop and tell you something. Right? Like I believe it, y'all. I think that's where all our tax dollars are going. I mean, we heard it from a CIA lady. Was she wrong? Was she right? I don't know, but where are our tax dollars going? Where are they going? They're not going to us to help out our streets, to help out our schools, to help out our communities, to help out our health insurance, to do any of that. It's disappearing. We're finding out all this fraud's coming on. Hospice fraud, daycare fraud, politicians resigning because of it. And they skate off into the sunset. Nobody hurt. Nobody. Trump didn't go after Waltz. He didn't say we're going to prosecute this guy and arrest him. You got to resign, guy. We got caught, but you're okay. You go ahead with your money. You're all right. You'll be all right. You'll pop in every once in a while. You didn't get in trouble. Let me do a daycare fraud. See if I get arrested and thrown under the jail.
Ain't no Illuminati come and help me with nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I personally, man, I believe in God. I'm a man who fears God, and I pray to God, you know, and
I told you. Hospital worker accused of cooking and eating human remains. Y'all, this ain't a joke. It's happening. And it's going to continue to. And I'm not so sure it's people that we haven't either without knowing them. Be careful who you let you prepare your food. Happy Wednesday.
Did you have to sacrifice something literally?
Yes. You cannot do any type of work without giving offering. So this lady brought her son to us. The kid was all f***ed up. So we started our work. So I had to put the family at a table together, put salt around the table and some other things to make sure they were protected. And we started this cleansing. Oh my God. 3 hours fighting, literally physically fighting this boy. And all of a sudden I turn around and look at the lady and I said, it was his mom. I said, it's you. You owe the spirit blood. You asked for something a long time ago and you never paid. And this is the consequence. She was just
Like she didn't give a
like she didn't give a So I was like, that's it. Stop the cleansing. We can't do anything for him until she gives the blood. We can't help him. So I told her she had to sacrifice a beef. That's what spirit wanted. And 3 weeks later, she calls and she says, hey, I did that. Can I bring my son back now so he can get help? And I said, what did you do? She said, we did a chicken. I said, that's not what I told you to do. Don't call me no more.
What happened to the boy?
I don't know.
If you've never seen cloaking technology in action, watch this.
So what you're going to see is cloaking. When applying
Check
a
this
small
out.
electrical current to glass or crystal, look what happens.
Did you see
It
it?
disappears.
Woman literally got this piece of glass to turn invisible. It might have been for a split second, but it's proof that if she can do it, then the people at the very top, like the government, can definitely do it. As always, stay weird.
And so there are DoorDash drivers in GTA 6 that are literally going to make millions of dollars. Because if you get GTA 6 and you grind GTA 6 and you work as a DoorDash delivery driver in Aiden Ross's GTA 6 server, you can make millions. There are DoorDash delivery drivers in GTA 6 that are going to make over an M in Aiden Ross's GTA 6 server. He's going to pay you fat tips every single time you deliver it. especially if you're a fast driver.
Y'all, what do you guys think of this? You know, I think I think Rockstar are paying these streamers to come out and say these things. We got a clip coming up of the sales, the pre-order sales that they already got in the billions, y'all. In the billions. The game's not even out yet. People think they're gonna come on here and make a dream, right? Now people are that are gonna stream it, but I don't think they're gonna be able to get on this server and do all that and make a living off it. If they are, that's the end of us, y'all. That's the end of the workforce. Because guess what? Just like Call of Duty, like battle royale games, Fortnite changed the game, y'all. Now every game's battle royale, right? There's no more Team Slayer on Call of Duty. They got it, but no one's watching it. So if they start figuring out you can become rich or make a, 9 to 5, $10 an hour playing video games for somebody else's server, it's going to take over the video game thing. But I think Rockstar is paying these streamers. They're going to pay them to play the game because I already know that's a fact, right? They pay these streamers to play Call of Duty when it comes out, right? They've even admitted it. Optic and all them, they admitted it, right? So they're going to pay them to do, but I think they're paying them to say all these things so that people go get the game. And that game ain't cheap, y'all. It's not cheap.
In hell. You got the first level, which is super bad. But every level that there is gets worse than the last. I've heard testimonies of people. I think his name was Melvin. You can go look at him on YouTube. He died. The Lord took him to hell, and he saw Hitler. He saw Hitler in a cube. It was these whole bunch of cubes that were stacked upon each other. On the outside, you could see them, but on the inside, they were whole worlds. Each cube was a different world, and that world was set up to torment that person. And Hitler was in a cube where everything he did to a Jewish person or to any human being, it was being done to him. So he was being gassed, burned, cut up, experimented on, ongoing. And he feels that he'll be there forever.
European World Cup fans losing their minds over Taco Bell ranch and unlimited refills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they get sick. When they come here, they get sick because there's chemicals in our food.
Somebody was telling me they went to Buc-ee's and there was the soccer teams were at Buc-ee's for the first time and they just fucking couldn't believe it.
Of course.
Imagine that's one of the first experiences you have in America. You walk into a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
And you're from Czechoslovakia or some shit.
It's one of the most American places, as you've said, that exists. You have this gas station, but that's also like a weird theme park of food and all kinds of other shit that you could need.
We now know why the kid that jumped off Tiana's Bayou Adventure's mom completely ratted on him. She is fed up with this dude. So the guy that filmed the original video that had been reposted online uploaded the high quality version, and you can clearly see what happens. So the kid jumps out of the log but falls back onto the log because he didn't clear his jump. And what we thought was his mom trying to grab him and stop him from jumping out of the log, it wasn't. It looks like she slapped him off of her. She seems to be completely fed up with him and his bad behavior, and that's why she told Disney the truth, and that simply, he's a bad kid. Now, since then, Disney has made zero public statements about what they plan on doing. The speculation is this, because there are a lot of rides that are just like Tiana's Bayou Adventure that have no safety harnesses. Now, you can expect longer wait times when you go to theme parks that are Disney owned, because they're going to have to strap everybody into these rides that they normally wouldn't have to do it. I feel like he needs to make a statement apologizing to the public and explaining his reasoning behind doing what he did. But what do you guys think?
I believe he won't be explaining. Didn't he die? I think he died at the hospital later, but I'm surprised it barely happened now. That ride, I've been on that ride once, y'all. Once, and it was the scariest thing I ever freaking been on. Never been on it again. Probably will never get on it again if I go back to Disneyland. But you're not strapped in. There's little metal bars that go across, and you got to hold on down by your hips. And that's a steep, you kind of lift up when you're going down. You got to hold on for your life, I feel like. That's why I was so terrified. You see the edge and you're not strapped in, y'all. So I'm surprised that barely happened now. Or like Pirates of the Caribbean, you're not strapped in, right? I'm surprised people behave and don't try to jump out, especially in today's age of social media and trying to go viral, go swim with the pirates or something. I'm very surprised. That's changing though. They now they have to.
85 million pounds of rotting food in that warehouse that caught on fire in LA. But someone got footage of the inside, and it's all cold storage food, and the person who made this video said that he found Kirkland brand, Costco brand fish on the outside. So not only was all of this food like semi-cooked from the fire, like the frozen fish, but now it's just sitting in this warehouse, and someone in the comments of this video said that it stinks. And I know that when there's a violent crime, that people are not allowed to clean up the mess until an entire investigation is done. So I'm wondering if that 85 million pounds of rotting food is just gonna have to stay in place until a full investigation is done.
Well, she would actually she could like astral project, and she used to come like it's gonna sound insane, but it's true. She used to come like, you know, dream interact, you know, with me when I was a little boy, especially, you know, I had some trauma that was happening when I was a little kid, and I thought I was dreaming at the time. She flew through my window, pulled me out of the bed, flew me around over the river, tucked me in her house, tucked me in her bed. And I remember waking up and crying. I was like 5 years old, and I had, you know, went through some shit that night. And when I was like 14 or 15, I was like, Mama, I would tell you about this dream I had. I was like, I never told you about this, but I was, you know, I got beat up basically by my mom's boyfriend. And I had a dream that you came in my window, and she said, yeah, and I took you and we flew over the river, and I took you to the house and I tucked you in, and she finished my dream. She finished what happened.
Did you know, do you guys ever have dreams like of relatives that passed on? Like, I've had a couple, y'all. I have an uncle. I wasn't really, you know, close to him really. You know, when I saw him, whatever, hi, whatever. Not really close to my cousin or anything. But I had a dream. I was at the movies and I was getting in a fight, and the guy pulled out a knife on me. And my uncle, who was passed, his best friend that I didn't know was passed at the moment, was with them, and his wife, who's alive, right? She's still alive now. And they saved me, right? He saved me. And I talked about this in a video before, and, you know, and I ended up telling my cousin on Instagram one day, I don't know why. I don't really talk to him, right? I don't really talk to him, you know, whatever, here and there, a little short, whatever. But I don't know, something told me, you know, I had to tell him, but I didn't. He told me that his friend was passed. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And, you know, I had a dream of my other uncle that passed away, and, you know, somebody around me got sick, and he told me how to cure her. The only thing I have to do is bring him a Popeye's chicken sandwich. I don't know why, but God forbid that ever happens, I will do that, right? But I've had these things of, you know, I've had some dreams, like crazy dream, nothing like astral projecting or anything, but, you know, have you guys ever had dreams like this about, you know, loved ones that have passed, and, you know, they come back into, you know, your dreams?
After the Civil War, there was 100,000 Confederate soldiers that moved down to Brazil, and they still have a city in Brazil, and it's called Americana.
What the heck?
Yeah, 100,000 Confederate soldiers went down to the south of Brazil to say, like, hey, we're gonna keep the South alive in a new country. Every year, they have a festival commemorating the Confederate soldiers, and look at this.
It's crazy. No!
That's in Brazil.
Stop! And apparently they said the city's actually nice. They had no idea. Like, there's some people that have went there and said, but it's actually a pretty nice city.
Apparently, the older people in Americana, Brazil, they have like a combination of a southern accent, and they like roll their R's. Yeah, like, Brazil. Yeah, we live in Brazil.
That's
it's crazy. But they said they started planting like tobacco, cotton, all, and it says that half of them 10 years in ended up leaving because they're like, this is really hard to keep up with all these crops. And so it's like, well, yeah, because you don't have.
So there is a theory. I'm going to call it the library theory.
Exactly. They don't want you to talk about it. So the theory is that if you are buying airline tickets or hotel, reservations, if you buy them at home, they are more expensive than if you were to go to the public library and buy them there.
What?
And the reasoning is because allegedly the theory is the corporations and the airlines and stuff, if they see that your IP address is coming from a public library, they assume you can't afford the internet at home, so they will charge you less for the products. This was just a theory, and we couldn't try it. I don't know why we ended up not doing it.
Yeah, and it was also, there's another theory where if you have a cheaper phone too, supposedly they can also tell that if you don't have an iPhone, if you have a cheaper Android phone or something, they also can supposedly charge you less and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cheap trick.
Get a burner phone.
Yeah. You're like a Nokia for all your online needs.
Yeah. Okay, so here is somebody proving it. Oh my god.
What?
It's drastically less.
That they're looking for.
I ordered a can of... I don't know. I would think maybe because it's public property or something, or it ain't because they care about you and, oh, this guy's poor, he can't travel, let's give him a discount. When has anyone ever done that? Right? What if you're going to pay with food stamps to get something to eat at McDonald's? Are they going to be like, oh, hell no. Don't work like that. Business don't work like that.
Coke off the dark web. Let's open it. And there's the can of Coke. It is wrapped up very strange, like I will say. Why does a can of Coke need so much wrapping? Gonna be very careful here. My friends, there is a substance in here again. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, my friends, this is not normal. One can only hope that this is a normal Coke can. Shall we open it up? Here goes nothing. Oh my god. At first I thought it was going to explode. It does seem to have good carbonation. I'm going to pour it into this. It doesn't necessarily smell like Coke. I'm not sure it's safe to drink this either. I don't know if you can see this, but inside of the Coke there's a flashing light. There's some sort of electronics inside of the Coke. How did that even get in there?
Doorbell rings.
My friends, that is very disturbing.
Do you think our world is run by humans?
No. If you're asking, do I think that there are hybrids, people who are part human? I mean, every society has always thought that. People are like, oh, that's a crazy concept. Really? Islam, Judaism, Christianity all believe that that is a thing. There are people who I know personally, I'm like, oh, let's get a weird vibe on them. I'm like, what is it? But I don't know. And I try not to speculate about it, though some of them are really, really weird.
Do you know that we are the only creatures in existence that wait until we get adults to start trying to become an adult? Every other creature learns how to be an adult version of themselves as soon as they're born.
I think maybe they that's because that's what society, built us to eventually, so they can have control. I mean, think about it. It was so-called caveman days. Right, that boy was out there hunting at 5 years old. Right, once he's able to walk and know his left and right, he's out there hunting. Right, or so we're told. But over time, like I said, the elites are the ones, the 7 wise men, the elites, and they give you a little bit. Like they say, they're 30 years ahead, and they just give us a little bit, just so they can keep that control. They give us a little bit. They've been doing that since the fire started. Throwing a rock on the floor to break it and get bone marrow. Where do you think these people learned that? Right? Where do you think they learned that?
I was watching the other day, the horses was born. Yeah, it wasn't no bottles.
They're just immediately.
It wasn't no swaddling. No, you get up and they walking immediately. They're not doing good, but hey, you born, walk. And every creature learns how to be the adult version of themselves, starting at birth. Right. Imagine how much more effective we'd be if we started learning how to be a wife and a mother at a young age, and a father and a husband. That technically was the way we used to do it before we were kidnapped and Caucasianized by the enemy. Yes. We had something called the rites of passage.
Right.
And I don't care what tribe you study, there was always three common things that you see among the rites of passage. Number one, you had to prove an act of valor. You had to show you had courage, because they knew then that cowards cannot keep their nation going. So females and males had to do something. Male might have to go kill a lion, bring it back. Female might have to cross burning coals. Everybody had to do something to prove they had courage. The other thing, they would give twigs to each one, showing them that this represents you all as individuals. But 30 of you all in this group, here's 30 twigs, see if you can break them. Nobody would break them. What was the message? When you're alone, you're easily defeated. But whenever we're together, no outside force can break us. Unity.
Right.
And the other one, universal. Among all rites of passage, every young boy had to prove, in theory, that he knew what it meant to be a father and a husband before he could be called a man. And every female had to do the same. So we need the rites of passage back.
Online gambling has gone from $5 billion a year to $150 billion a year in 3 years.
Thank you, DraftKings.
Thank you, DraftKings. And
you want to know why men aren't buying houses?
Yeah.
DraftKings.
Yeah. And remember, you couldn't have a sports team in Vegas, and you couldn't have an advertiser. And now, because they all own a piece of the action, young men are buying the Lakers and the Celtics and the Sooners because they don't think, saving $300 a month's not going to do me anything. Let me put it all on the Lakers. And so they're hoping for the big win. And with the big win, they're hoping. The number one question of the online gambling bros is, what would you do with the monies if you had a huge thing? They said, I'd buy a house. So it's that lack of hope. And you look.
What happens is when you have a lack of hope, as soon as I get desperate, I get stupid.
Yeah.
And you're not swinging. You're not swinging to hit singles and doubles. You're swinging for the fence. And every time you swing for the fence, you strike out. And that's what brought the crypto bros up too.
Yep.
They're looking for a dadgum easy money.
Down 50%.
Malcolm X said that if you could control
quick, overnight,
what you put in here and in and out of here, you can control the universe. If you can say no to food, no to sex, you can do anything. That is usually how we manipulate it. Motherfucker, take your food. Like me and my homeboy from college, Edward Muhammad, we used to fast for 16, 17 days. We say if we ever went to war, the most I've ever fasted is 22 days on just like water, and 26 days on 2 salads and water.
A day?
No. Doing the whole.
That's all you ate. In 26 days is 2 salads and water. Okay.
I believe it.
But
I tell you guys
imagine
all the time.
this. If somebody kidnapped me, I'm straight for at least 16 days. That's a man, bro. If you're able to say no to food, that's how we live.
I say it all the time, y'all. You guys change your food? Me too. I'm on carnivore, y'all. Barely day 3, but I'm feeling good already. Right? I still got some habits to work on. Coffee in the morning's a big one. I would like to, it's already 12 o'clock and I'm barely in here doing my video with you guys. I'd like to be done by, 9 o'clock in the morning. But you change, if you're able to say no to what you put in your mouth, your life will change. Right? It doesn't got to be carnivore. It doesn't got to be keto. It doesn't got to be, it's whatever you know. You know what you eat and what makes you feel good and what doesn't. I would hope so. You change that, you're going to start doing all the little disciplines. You're going to start reading. You're going to start wanting to learn more. You're going to be like, you know what? Let me try this YouTube thing out. Guess what? If you're eating pizza and a burger right now, you're not even thinking about trying this out or thinking about other ways. But imagine if you were a day fasted and you heard me on here saying, start it. You might even think about it, right? You change what you eat. Even sexual desires, y'all. You get disciplined with that, like you said. You're halfway there.
Music festival, and I saw so many young people in the VIP section where the tickets were $2,500. And I asked someone, I said,
"Ain't easy.
How can you afford to be here?" And they said, "Well, we're not saving for a house." They've given up. Like when I was that age, the first thing I did out of graduate school is I started packing all my money away for a house. I got to buy Apple, Amazon, and Netflix at $8, $10, and $12 a share, respectively. Now, when asset prices fall, we decide we're going to bail out the incumbents. which is robbing opportunity from young people. And so they feel as if, well, the game is rigged. You guys just keep using my credit card to prop up your assets artificially that you already own. So I'm going to invent my own asset class.
We're sick, though. There's something poisoning us. Do you agree with that?
100%. I know the government know what it is.
Yeah, they ain't telling.
You know, because death is profitable. You know, people cashing on your insurance and all that shit. Death is very profitable.
Even at the morgue, dude, my buddy freaking died. They put new shoes on him, charged his family $300. I'm like, bitch, he's wearing them for 50 minutes.
I can't prove it.
Think about it, y'all. Birth is profitable. The little line in between that death is very profitable. And death is profitable, y'all. Right? They get you when you're born. They keep you sick, so you keep going back to that same place you were born. And then when you're dying, you're probably going back to that same place you were born. And then the ritual before you're put down to rest, that's a big profit. Big profit.
But I swear some of these people at the farmer's market are just buying tomatoes from Walmart and selling them at a 300% upcharge. Because
this video I just stitched, where he says that there's market level produce at a farmer's market, it's true. It's true. There's farmer's markets out there, like one in my own town, where it says 51% of your produce has to be grown from your own farm. Other than that, go wild. I've personally seen, when I worked in the produce department, people coming to buy all these watermelon and then just reselling it at that huge markup. Check out your rules, because you're probably right, man.
Tell you guys all the time, people going to the farm to buy a cow thinking they're healthy. Like, you don't know this. They're in the business of money and profit. They're in the business of money and profit, right? You go get eggs, right, from the local guy that has a little thing in his front yard, free eggs. Maybe that guy's from the heart. But if you go to the guy and buy a dozen eggs for, I don't know how much they charge, $15, they're probably buying those cage-free eggs for $5 and selling them to you for 20 and keeping all the good ones for themselves and their family and friends. That's the truth, y'all. You go to these farmer markets and paying $20 for 10 tomatoes, they're probably getting them for 25 cents a pound at Walmart, some Roma tomatoes, and selling to you. That's the truth, y'all. That's the truth. There might be some eggs in there that are okay, good people in there that are really doing the work and enjoy it. And, you know, they don't need the money. They just do it for the love of gardening and all that. But the majority of those people, look at their cars they're driving when they leave, right? Look at that. But I got a shirt coming up, y'all. I always tell you guys, pick your poison, right? I got with my guy that makes my thumbnails, and we're going to work together and come up with a dope shirt. I have a great idea for a shirt. I'm excited. Stay tuned for that. Pick your poison.
I want you to hear that. 1980, it was 18% interest when you bought a house. 1990, 10% interest.
No, it was the other way around. In the 80s, it was 18%. And in the 90s, it was 10%. Right.
Yes.
And right now, everybody's like, hey, these interest rates are so high, right? But yes.
We're really low, right?
Well, compared to that, yeah.
I always say it. We're doing a little talking today because my video is short, so I need to get it. I'm going to get close to an hour. But anyways, these interest rates in the 80s, I say it all the time. It wasn't the one company, the BlackRock, the Vanguard, that owned all these houses. So we came back down. I don't know if it's going to come back down, y'all. It's like they're milking us for everything, and they got these data centers and underground thing. They're taking all the money they can get. Okay, no more talking for the video. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, Trump not our leader. No, you think Trump our leader? Listen, I don't want to say too much, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Trump don't make decisions. Trump is the face. He the face, gang. It's somebody behind Trump that's doing everything, right? You gotta understand this. Trump said the same thing Obama said. They're just saying it different. It's the same shit.
They all do.
Right? Democrat versus Republican, but they both together. It's like when you go to lawyer and it's a public defender and you go to court, it's the same thing, right? You go into court with the prosecutor.
No, if I went back in time, but is this Selena right next to me? Bro, I'm
being so rude up, right? Target top, wait till she passes by.
It's creepy.
Bro, I swear
That's
to God,
creepy.
she looks just like fucking Selena, bro.
Pre-order sales, $3 billion in revenue, Vinny. GTA 6 has reportedly surpassed 39 million pre-order sales and $3 billion in revenue. Nobody knows anything about the game yet. They haven't even told you what's going to happen with this. It's already there. The biggest release ever, and the game doesn't come out till November.
Christmas.
Insanity when you think about this. Insanity. They're talking about this is going to be the biggest hit ever. Raymond James and Andrew Merrick say the pricing is broadly in line with expectations. He believes $80 is reasonable despite exceeding the industry's current $70 standard.
You know how many units have been sold, guys? 460 million units. They're closing in on 500 million units across with this release. The last release sold, which was 13 years ago, GTA 5. I remember this. It was $1 billion in 3 days. $1 billion in 3 days. Now this is $3 billion on pre-sale, waiting to go.
It'll lower the meaning that you feel on your vacation by 16% by taking pictures.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
So you don't think you should take pictures on vacation
I
or
recommend,
within
I
reason?
recommend that one person be assigned to take pictures on your vacation each day.
One person do
One
it.
person per day. And that nobody else gets to take any pictures the whole day.
And it makes a big difference.
Big difference. Yeah, because if you're looking through the screen to take a picture of the thing that's right in front of you so that somebody else can enjoy it, maybe you in 2 years, guess what you've done? You've turned your experience into a simulation of the experience.
Oh my God.
But cities have been designed to create more problems that can create more industries. So it's designed that your job is 45 minutes away so that you can spend time in traffic so that the cars have more wear and tear and spend more gas and take more gas. But to think of communities where the church is in the center of the community, and then the school, cafeterias, sustainable gardening, and homes. This is the concept that I have.
The Easter Island statues, one of the things they found that the heads that are above the surface are just a tiny part of it. Do you think that it's just natural erosion that covered up everything else?
It's not so much erosion, it's the deposition of sediment over time. And you can see the dark bit is the bit that was above ground. And then they dig down and they find that it goes down 30 feet underground. And this is not as a result of being exposed by erosion. This had to be excavated in order to reveal it. And the issue is, if this thing is only 700 years old, which is something that archaeologists often say, how do you get 30 feet of sedimentation on this tiny island? It looks like a much longer period.
So you're familiar with Easter Island in South America?
I know what those statues are and all that stuff, but I'm not familiar with what happened to the island.
So that island was an ancient civilization that was the Mecca. It had everything off land. It had big trees, tons of food, blah, 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 blah. People settled there and they said, this place is incredible. It's paradisical. And then they started cutting down the trees to fish. They started eating all the mammals. And what actually happened is because they were so remote, the middle of the ocean, nowhere near South America, nowhere near anywhere else, they cut down the last tree. There were no more canoes. There was no more food on the island, and the population collapsed. The island was barren. It was void of trees, void of life, void of anything, and they didn't have the canoes or anything to leave anymore because they cut down the last tree to build a boat or make firewood, and everybody there died.
Oh, shit.
So that's what happens when you use up every last resource.
God, so, wow, when did this happen?
I couldn't tell you.
Because I thought it was like a mystery to like what happened to the population of Easter Island. So they're pretty sure
that's the scientifically accepted understanding.
And did they get this from fossils? They get this from bones, and is that so? They've sort of pieced it together.
Yep.
It just baffles me that this is what mainstream science media says. Like, these people were so smart where they can make these statues and carry them from a place to over here, but yet they weren't smart enough to build a canoe that can last. They just used trees, chopped them down. We're not running out of trees. We're now where you hear about these ancient civilizations that are still living to this day. They eat a mango, they plant the mango. They eat an apple, they plant the apple. So you're telling me back then they were so stupid they couldn't think of that? Like, it's just crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Who knows what happened with that? Who knows how long? I know it's more than 7,000 years, but we'll never know. And they'll never tell us, right? But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You made it this far. You know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. We did a lot of talking today, y'all. I wanted to hit that hour long. And now, is it going to be an hour long after editing? I don't know. A lot of these clips had a lot of background music on them that I know are some copyrighted music sometimes. I could go through and edit it, but I'm a busy guy. So we're just going to let it rock. Hopefully it only picks up one or two. And we still hit that hour-long banger, y'all. I got my Boone right now getting groomed. He needed a bath. These dogs stink. So they're getting groomed right now. I'm going to go pick them up in a little bit. So I hope you guys are out there having a good Monday. I get Tuesday off, right? We're going to go to the aquarium. I'll be back Wednesday for another hour banger with you guys. And we're going to get going on that second channel, y'all. I'm going to pop it up, my latest reaction on my second channel over here. It's people come in visiting for the World Cup, trying American food. I'm going to put that over here. Playlist over here, y'all. We're going to get going on that second channel. I'll see you guys then. Later.